Figma just made websites way more dynamic. They acquired Weavy, and now you can create videos directly inside your Figma workflow, which means your hero sections don't have to be static images anymore. In this video, I will show you the complete workflow. We'll design a luxury car website hero in Figma, create cinematic video using Weavy, and then bring that video into the design to make the website instantly look more premium. Let's jump in. Hi, my name is Sergey and welcome to my channel. Here I talk about Figma, Framer, AI, and vibe coding. So don't forget to subscribe to learn more and like the video if you like it. And now let's create some videos for our websites. All right, so let's check it out. And the first thing that we want to see is the new homepage. And we see that it's Weavy or weave.figma.com. And here's the announcement that Weavy is now Figma Weave. I'm not sure how to pronounce it correctly. This is a super cool app that I was looking at a couple of months. And the idea here is that you can use different top level models for generating a really cool high-end videos. Basically, I think this is a really cool setup for like video production, UGC content. And for us as product designers and web designers, this is interesting because we can make our websites pop a little bit by adding some video content. So what do you want to do? You want to go to Start Now or Sign In and sign in with your Figma account. When you get inside, you will see that there are a lot of examples of what you can do in Weavy. And one of the ones that I really like is the illustration machine and this video face swap. Let's check it out how it works. So basically, Weavy is all about showing a process of sort of like nodes, and every node here acts as a function. So for example, you have a prompt function here, you have another node for creating an image, and actually you can have several images inside, so you don't need to like chat every time with your, for example, ChatGPT or Nana Banana. So you just click run model and it will generate the image inside of this node. And then you add nodes for different tasks. For example, you want to add here a node for creating a text of a song, and then connected with another prompt and another node for example, making turning this text into voice, and then you connect the image and the voice with another node that acts and functions as a video generator. For example, here it's a VO3. Let's check it out how it works. This is just an example from Figma, and that's super crazy, right? This is super crazy. So we got the image and then generated text and then generated the video with from the image and the text. So basically the voice generation. So what they do next, they just extract the video frame, and then they use a mask, that's another node, and they connect it with a prompt to create a big fur human animal face. This is the prompt. And it connects with the mask to generate another image, and they played around with different things here, as you can see, different heads. So they picked this one, and I believe it's the coolest one as well. And then they generated two variations of the video. The coolest thing is that you can generate videos or images without going separately into different apps. You can do it everything here, and this is super cool that you have like different nodes for different models. So they generated a few of them, and like two, and we can see an example over here, and then they generated another one right here. They had different iterations, and the last one was the best. And they used it to generate basically the videos for the reels. And I love this one on the bottom. This is super cool. But let's create something for ourselves, and I'll show you how it works, and I'll show you the process that I did. So I want to go to Figma, and in Figma, I want to go to Figma Make and generate a hero section for a website that sells luxury cars. So basically, I put the prompt here and run the script, and it's called the Premium Luxury Hero section for luxury cars brand, full screen, background image, dark theme. So this is what I got. Then I added a top bar nav because it didn't have it the first time. So it looks nice, but it looks static. So the next thing, what I want to do, I want to export this to my Figma file, and you can do it by clicking over here, copy the design, and when you go to your Figma file, you will just paste it here. And the problem here is that it generates a really large breakpoint because I have a 27-inch monitor, and some of you ask me in the questions, how do you generate a particular breakpoint? For example, you want to do it in HD or you want to do it 1440. And here's the trick. You go here when you have the mobile preview and you select custom, and now you just need to just write the breakpoint that you want to use. So for example, I want to use this one, full HD 16:9, and I just copy it and I go back to my Figma file and I just paste it here. So this is the breakpoint for full HD. And it looks pretty good. So we have the hero, we have the text here, buttons, everything's nice. But the problem is that we don't have the background image that actually works and has like a video background. So let's create it in Figma Weavy. Let's go back to our account. All right, so I played around with it a little bit. So this is my project. And basically, I just want to show you what I did. I created a prompt, actually two of them. One was for creating a beautiful two-story cabin in the winter forest. So this was my prompt, describing the aesthetic, the style, the atmosphere. And another prompt was to create a pink Barbie Mercedes-Benz G-Class angle shot, ultra realistic white background. So how do I do this? Let me just show you the quick example. On the left, you have this panel where you can access all different nodes over here. And as far as I understand, like the hardest part is to know all of these models and to understand how they work. And basically, this is everything you have right now on the market, like all of them. It's like a huge library. So you have like different video models here, like the top level ones, like Cdance 2.0. This was just released today, I think. And as you can see, it's a lot of credits. It's like 182 credits, just comparing to Sora 2, where it's 96, or Higgsfield, where it's only 45. So basically you have to just learn all of these things by yourself, I guess, just like testing and checking them out, or just read some documentations if you're really into this. But what I did, I just used the most popular ones just to test them out, and the ones that are not super expensive in terms of credits. So what do you want to do? You just want to like drag and drop one of these nodes, and here you already get this example of the prompt, but you can write anything here. And then you need to connect it to something else. For example, and the next thing, what you want to do, you want to create an image, right? So what you want to do, you want to just drag and drop it just somewhere in the empty space, this little node, and you pick the model that you want to use. For example, one of the easiest ones is to use Imagen 4, for example. It's from Google, and it costs only 6 credits. And this is what I created. So basically, this connection says that this prompt will be used to generate the image over here after I click Run Model. And then the result, I can then connect it to something else. For example, I can export it, or I can do some modifications with it. For example, I can crop, or I can change fine-tune the levels or the colors of this image and stuff like that. So basically, every action that you want to do with the images or with your videos or whatever you're doing in the Weavy, it has to be like a separate node. So this is very interesting. And here comes a lot of like art directional skills that you need to learn, and how to work and how to create these things. Let's check it out what I did. So this was my first prompt, and I connected to ideogram v3, and I got this image with this building in winter, and then I used this prompt for creating a G class, and I got this image. Actually, I did several of them. This was the first, and I guess the third one was the best. And the cool thing is that you can change the prompt over here. You're changing the prompt, and then you run it again, and it will give you a new image on top of the ones that were before. So you don't need to actually create a new prompt every time, like a new node. And as you can see, when I'm changing these images, the next node that I was using, compositor, where I changed my composition. So basically I had a background image. This was the top one, and then I have the new layer here, which is the second image. I can add more layers, and I can add more images here, and then when I click edit, I can just modify how it looks. I can just like move it around, you know, like play around with the composition, but I tell the model that this is how it should be. Like I have the G-Wagon here, and the background is my my house, or my scene. And as you can see, when I change the image here, it changes automatically on the right in the composer. So it actually pulls the data from the previous node. And currently I'm in Safari, and you can see we have some issues on loading, but it's better to do it in Chrome. So this was the image that I used. So basically the next step after this, after the composition, so here are the composition part, then I used output, and I wanted to create the image, right, to create this one. So I used Gemini 3.1 Nana Banana 2, and this looks super cool, right? Look at this. Wow, this looks nice, but it didn't generate it by itself. You need to have a prompt for it, right? So I used another node to create a prompt here. So this was the prompt: combine two images and preserve the colors of the background. The car should be standing on the snow in front of the building. Because this was an important thing, because the first image that I got was something like this. Well, that's crazy, right? This is not what we want. So I changed the prompt, and then I run a model, and I got this image. After that, I used the result, right? I used the result, and I used another node that was used for cropping. So this was the cropping part. So I just found it over here. You see crop, and I just dragged it, and then I used the aspect ratio 16:9 because I wanted to get the video 16:9. And then you can like drag it around, you know, like put it inside, like create a composition that you want. And then you have the output, and I wanted to create a video, right? So this is a static image, so I used two videos. I used a Seedance 1.5, and I used Clink 3. And of course I used the prompt for the video, and it was a dolly in cinematic rotation. So the output from this crop image was to Seedance and for Clink. So both models worked at the same time. Super cool. I didn't need to go to another app or another website and use models there. I use everything here. So basically you can have like you can have like 10 videos running at one time, right, generating. And I use this prompt for both of these videos. And here we can see the results for the Seedance and for the Clinks. For the Clink, you can see that it didn't do it correctly, but it did a 10 seconds video. I spent a lot of tokens on this one, and it didn't do the rotation. So basically it did like a move in, and I didn't like this version, but I really liked what I got from the Seedance. And for some reason it didn't work on the it didn't turn on the light on the second one, but now it turns on. But it's like, you know, little details we can update a little bit later. All right. And after these videos, you need to put the export. So basically what you do, you choose the result, and then you pick the export, and you download the image or the video. And now let's go back to our Figma file. And here in Figma file, this is our hero, right? So we need to click and find this hero image where it is. So I guess this is the one right here. So let's check it out. Yeah, it's the one. And it's in the frame for some reason, or let's check it out. This is a container. Yeah. So this is the image. And what I want to do now, I want to just bring in my video, and this was the one, I guess. Yep. And I want to just drag and drop, or use this function, cut and paste, and put it inside of my container. Like this. And just make it, oops, like that. And now what I want to do, I want to just preview this in a prototype, and let's see how it works. This is super cool, right? So you can see how the website now works, and it looks much better, more interesting, and of course it looks more luxurious. And now you can sell this not for $100 but for 10K. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was interesting and useful for you. So don't forget to tell me how you use Weavy, and I want to see your examples of your projects. So send some links in the comments below. And please don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you like it. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.